All right, hey there, Guthrie Trapp here. What we're going to talk about in this lesson is playing over common chord changes, and basically we're going to deal with kind of a beginner intermediate level here, and we're going to look at just playing like over a 1-4-5, which would be in the key of G. That'd be G, C, and D. So how I look at this, and something that I teach pretty frequently, is a basic fundamental that'll be with you for the rest of your life on the guitar. And the way to outline these chords. So it's a lot of outlining the chord is 1, 3, and 5, and that's your 1 being G, your 3 being B, which is your major third, and your 5 being D. So that's basically your chord triad. So we're going to really focus on outlining these. And there's a great exercise that we'll do with a backing track in just a second, but to demonstrate. But right now, I would like to show you without the backing track just how this works. So basically, if I'm in the key of G, I'm going to play G, 1, 3, B, 5, D, and that outlines that chord. And I'm going to do the same thing in the key of C when the chord changes, and then we're going to do it over D, coming right up. So here's what that's going to sound like. And then in C, 1, your 3 is E, and your 5 is G. So in C, 1, 3, 5, same exact position as what we did in G. We're just taking that exact same pattern and moving it down to the A string and D string. So we've got G, C, and then we're going to move up to the 5th fret, and we're going to start on D, and we're going to go D, F sharp, which is the major third, so 1, 3, 5, and D, and then A is your 5, so we're on the A string and the D string, and then right back to the 1. So that's an exercise that I like to teach people. That's like an introductory to playing over chord changes, because technically, even though that's a really simple, almost like a bass line riff or pattern, if somebody was going like this, if the rhythm part was super simple, but if you just played this, that's not the fanciest thing in the world, but it's playing over the chord changes, and it marks those chord changes, and it lets you know that really outlining that 1, 3, 5 that's the beginning to really having a great foundation of playing over the chord changes. So I'll take this one more step in a difficulty level. I'll take this one other step before we get to the backing tracks, and this is going to be, we're just going to be outlining the 1, 3, 5. So that was all the way down to your D shape and C shape G position down here. I went all the way through. I went 1, 3, 5 in G, go to C, 1, 3, 5, D, 1, 3, 5, and then I'm going down to this position. I'm going to play 1, 3, 5, starting on my octave, my second octave in G right here. So, so 1, 3, 5. New position, and then I'm going to jump down and play out of this C position here, my A shape, and that full A shape there. So basically so far. And then jump into C, 1, 3, 5, up to D, right out of that A shape, 1, 3, 5, and then G again on the 3rd octave. 1, 3, 5 again, right there. So basically we've covered this octave, and this octave, all the way up 3 octaves. So that exercise is really great to start seeing how that 1, 3, 5 exercise marks the chord changes. So again, if you're playing G, C, D, the simplest, most basic fundamental to play over those chord changes and make it sound like you're outlining them is 1-3-5, and that's this exercise. Okay, now let's do this to a backing track, and I'll break it down a little bit with that as well.